So something that I've been particularly worked up about over the last few months is Donald Trump's executive orders targeting specific law firms and the law firms that have capitulated to the Trump administration and have agreed to his demands and have pledged collectively over $1 billion worth of pro bono legal work for him, I guess. These were very, very respected, old school white leather shoe law firms is the term they use in D.C. And they caved. They just caved, including one law firm named Paul Weiss, which was known to have some of the strongest, most effective litigators, trial attorneys that you could hire anywhere. And them capitulating to Donald Trump was so disgusting to me because the executive orders that Donald Trump, we'll put it this way, it had nothing to do with the law. If they had fought these executive orders, they would have won, and they knew that. These orders violate the First Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment. I mean, all just plainly, patently, clearly, obviously, there was no question. The 4 or 5 law firms that fought Donald Trump's executive orders have all won in court repeatedly. Several have gotten permanent injunctions, restraining orders against Donald Trump's executive orders targeting them. And it's like, you guys are law firms, you're lawyers, you are litigators. If you're not going to fight this administration on your behalf, how is any client that hires you expect that you're going to fight on their behalf? It's just such an abdication of their responsibilities as lawyers. And one firm, I think it was Paul Weiss, lost 4 of their most senior partners who are leaving. They're going to go out and start their own law firm in the face of this shit. And now, headline, major corporations, including Oracle, McDonald's, and Morgan Stanley, are dumping the law firms that caved to Donald Trump. They are losing major clients as a direct result of their appeasement to Trump. This is reported by the Wall Street Journal. A growing list of firms have caved, including Paul Weiss, Latham, Watkins, Skadden Arps. Just legendary firms, man. Firms where I would never even be able to get an interview. Now, what are you going to do? They offered swift compliance with Trump's decrees and $1 billion worth of pro bono legal work to appease him. Standing strong against Trump's demands for the firms that fought back is paying off with clients for them, according to the Journal's report, which said that at least 11 major corporations were shifting their legal work away from firms that entered into agreements with the Trump administration in favor of the firms that fought back. Some of the companies went on record, others were mentioned after reporters spoke to general counsels, and others familiar with the company's decisions. Included in the list are McDonald's, investment bank and financial services company Morgan Stanley, and Oracle Corporation. The sources that spoke to the Journal's reporters cited concerns that a law firm that so quickly caved to pressure from the White House couldn't be trusted to fight hard on behalf of their clients during negotiations or in court. The chief legal officer for Morgan Stanley, Eric Grossman, met with Latham chair, Latham's one of the firms that caved, Richard Traubman, after the firm made its deal with Trump, and heard him out about the firm's reasonings for striking a deal, and acknowledged that companies have to do what is best for themselves, but then reached out to law firms targeted by the White House that hadn't signed deals, that they were looking to give them new business. The article also cited an unnamed general counsel of one major financial firm who was represented by Paul Weiss and grew increasingly anxious when the firm didn't fight back after being targeted by Trump's executive order. The news of Paul Weiss's settlement with Trump made her feel physically ill. The decision by McDonald's to drop a star Paul Weiss litigator, Loretta Lynch, was especially notable because it is so rare to switch legal representation so close to trial. Lynch, who was the Attorney General under President Barack Obama, was representing McDonald's in a lawsuit alleging it had discriminated against black-owned media companies, and that trial is coming up. The Journal's report further noted that the law firms that settled with the administration found that while the managing partner's intentions may have been to buy peace and move on, they often ended up not just driving off major clients, but also sparking rifts between partners and leading younger associates to quit. A stunning step to walk away from the lucrative compensation and benefits offered by these big law firms for their fiercely competitive associate positions. The blowback from the 4 law firms so far that has successfully litigated against the Trump administration and the trouble brewing within the firms that settled may be helping protect other firms from being targeted. The president has not issued a new executive order directed at a law firm since the beginning of April. Fuck every single one of those law firms that capitulated to Donald Trump. I hope they lose all of their business. I hope they lose all of their associates. And I hope they lose a bunch of their partners as well. When you become an attorney, you finish law school, you take the bar exam, you find out that you passed the bar exam, and you're ready to enter the practice of being an attorney. You have to get sworn in. You take an oath. You become an officer of the court. You become an officer of the law, and you have loyalty to the law and to the Constitution. And my belief that every one of these firms that capitulated to Donald Trump violated those oaths, and those attorneys at a minimum need to be disciplined by their various state bars, if not outright disbarred, because they violated every principle of the practice of law in caving to Donald Trump for convenience and profits over their fidelity to the law and the rule of law and the principles of law. It's still just disgusting to me that these firms caved. And I hope that they continue to reap consequences like these.